Myself, Rajendra Asiri. I am Assistant Professor in Computer Science Department at Government Bangalore PG College, Dton. In the previous lecture, we focused on various concepts of cryptography and network security. We discussed about various basics of cryptography, some algorithms and some theorems on modular arithmetic we have discussed. Then we have discussed transposition and substitution techniques of cryptography, how to perform encryption at sender end, and how to decrypt the ciphertext at the receiver and in order to gain again the plain text for the receiver. Then we have discussed monoalphabetic and polyalphabetic cipher. In monoalphabetic, every alphabet or every alphabet of the plain text is mapped with same alphabet of the ciphertext, right? Means we can say, suppose I am doing encryption of the hello, HELLO. So in hello there are two same alphabet LL. So both the L will be encrypted with the same ciphertext alphabet. This is called as alphabetic cipher. In polyalphabetic cipher, if we want to convert hello into a ciphertext with help of polyalphabetic cipher, then it will convert uh, all the same alphabet. Means suppose here the same alphabet is double L, L, L. So both the L, L will not be converted into a same ciphertext alphabet. One L can be converted to suppose X, second can be converted to L from to Y. So first L to X, second L to Y. So it is called as what? Polyalphabetic cipher. Means all the same alphabet of plain text is not mapped with the unique alphabet in the ciphertext, right? Then we have discussed two categories of ciphertext: stream cipher and block cipher. In stream cipher, as the name implies, uh, bit by bit level transposition or bit by bit substitution is possible. In block cipher, what happened? Collection of group of alphabet in plain text is directly converted, simultaneously converted, concurrently converted into a group of alphabet of the ciphertext. That's why it is called as a block cipher. Then you have discussed crypto system. In crypto system, there are various type of categories like DES, data encryption standard, triple DES is there. Clear? We have discussed fiscal structure. In fiscal structure, there are various type of number of rounds are there. Then key size is fixed, key stream is fixed, and we perform XOR operation, right? Round function was there in every round. So in this manner, fiscal structure ensure the security in up to a great extent. Then we have discussed symmetric and asymmetric cryptography aspect of the cryptography techniques. In symmetric, as the name implies, at the sender and receiver, we are using symmetric key, means same key, shared key or private key. So the problem is here is that we need to share the key. So as per the Kirchhoff law, we need to ensure the secrecy of the key rather than focusing on the secrecy of the message. Message can be transmitted or ciphertext can be transmitted in unsecure channel. We need to ensure the security or security of the we can say key. That says Kirchhoff law, right? In asymmetric key cryptography, also called public key cryptography, there are two type of keys. One key for the encryption and another key is for the decryption. So we will focus on asymmetric cryptography, how asymmetric cryptography is helpful in encryption process to ensure the security, and how it is helpful to ensure the authentication of the sender as well as receiver, right? Mainly authentication of the sender, right? Then in the next lecture we will be focusing on the digital signature, that how to ensure the integrity or legality of the document or legality of the message. Clear? For the authentication, there are various type of frameworks are there. First framework is Kerberos. Second is a set of list of certificates called as X.509 certificate set. Then in the upcoming lecture we will focus on security of application layer, security of transport layer, and security of the network layer. So in today's lecture we will be focusing on two parts. First, encryption using public key stream, and second, authentication using public key stream, right? So in this scenario there are various type of ingredient. So first I am explaining the ingredient. I'm just taking a marker. First ingredient is sender, second ingredient is receiver. Here sender name is Bob, receiver name is Alice. Third is key, and there are two type of key. One is public key and second is private key, right? Public key is used for encryption and private key is used for decryption, right? Then fourth component is plain text. After converting the plain text using encryption algorithm, it will be known as ciphertext, right? Ciphertext means it will be originally transmitted. And at the sender end, one is encryption algorithm. Sender end algorithm name is encryption algorithm, and at the receiver end, algorithm name is decryption algorithm. That's all. So 7 ingredients are mainly there. First is sender. First ingredient is sender, and here the sender name is Bob. Second is Alice. Third is plain text. Fourth is after converting the plain text using encryption algorithm, it will be transmitted ciphertext. Fifth is encryption algorithm. Sixth is decryption algorithm. Seventh is here public key and private key, right? So now understand the process. So initially we are having what? Plain text. Initially we are having our original plain text. Now our aim is to convert this plain text into ciphertext. So the algorithm is required is encryption algorithm. Here RSA algorithm is required, mainly popular algorithm for unsymmetric public key cryptography. So using RSA cryptography algorithm we are doing what? Encryption. Now for encryption we require what? First input is plain text and second input is what? Key. Second is key. Now here key is sender's public key ring. There is sender's public key ring, means every time suppose a sender want to send the message to a receiver, first receiver, then Bob's public key ring is there. For every receiver there is a different public key is there. So suppose there are 4 receiver, so for with the 4 Bob with the sender there will be 4 public key. So public key ring is there with the sender, means sender has a set of public key for every intended receiver. So Bob's public key ring there are Joy, Mike, Alice and Ted. All 4 are the recipient or receiver. So here in this particular case receiver is Alice, right? So Bob's public key, using Bob's public key for Alice public key and plain text, both are given as input to the encryption algorithm. It will be converted into a transmitted ciphertext. Now in the channel there is a ciphertext. This is our further forwarding message. This is ciphertext, right? Now this ciphertext carries, and at the receiver end there is an algorithm called as decryption algorithm. This is decryption algorithm. In decryption algorithm first input is ciphertext and second input is key for the decryption. So if you noticed at sender Alice public key was there, so Alice key is required, private key is required for the decryption. Since decryption means decoding, breaking the code, it means private key is required. Of what? Of what private key? Private key of that person whose key is used for the encryption. So at the sender end for the encryption Alice public key was used for encryption. That's why at the receiver end private key will be used, but of what? Of Alice private key, right? So Alice public key for the encryption and Alice private key for the decryption. Using Alice private key and given as the input as ciphertext, both will be used in the decryption algorithm, and decryption algorithm will convert the transmitted ciphertext using Alice private key into a plain text again. So in this manner we can perform encryption using public key cryptography, right? Again I am summarizing. At the receiver end encryption algorithm and plain text are used. At the receiver end decryption algorithm and ciphertext will be used as the input, and output will be plain text. Output of the encryption algorithm ciphertext, output of the decryption algorithm plain text. Clear? So we are providing plain text and send receiver's public key into the encryption algorithm. Encryption algorithm name is RSA. It will convert into a ciphertext. Clear? It will convert into a ciphertext, right? And the ciphertext will be given as input, and alias private key will be used for again another input, and it will be used in decryption algorithm. Output will be in the form of plain text. So in this manner, we can perform encryption using public key cryptography. Next concept is how we can ensure the authenticity of the sender and receiver using public key string. So authentication using public key string, right? Here also first we are understanding the ingredients, right? So if you notice, we are using encryption algorithm. First part, we are using decryption algorithm. These both are used the algorithm for the security purpose. First one is for the encoding, and second one is for the decoding. Input is plain text. At the receiver end, the output is plain text. Now plain text, and for the authentication in the encryption, we were using what? We were using receiver's public key, but in the authentication, whom we are authenticating? For the receiver, we are authenticating that it is a legal sender. Clear? So for ensuring that, so Bob is the sender here and receiver is Alex. So Bob's public key and plain text will be used into given into a RSA cryptographic algorithm encryption, and it will convert into a transmitted ciphertext. At the receiver end, decryption in the decryption algorithm, transmitted ciphertext will be given, and at the receiver end, anyone can decrypt, because we are ensuring here not the security of the message, we are ensuring the authenticity. So anyone can ensure the authenticity of the sender. Who can authenticate? Who's are having the receiver's public key ring, right? So Li's public key ring, there are Joy, Mike, Bob, Ted. Bob was the sender. So Bob's public key will be used for the decryption, and if it is possible to decrypt using Bob's public key, it means definitely it was encrypted by the private key of the Bob, right? It means it is ensuring the authenticity that the sender Bob is authenticate user, and it is a legal user, intended user. Clear? Again, we are summarizing in authenticity. At the sender end, we are encrypting using sender's private key, because we want to ensure the authenticity of the sender. And at the receiver, we are using sender's public key for different receivers, right? So Bob is here sender. So Bob's private key is used at the sender end to put input into the encryption algorithm, and plain text is coming. So plain text and Bob's private key, sender's private key, is used for encryption, ensuring the authenticity. Then transmitted ciphertext at the receiver, Bob's public key will be used for decryption, because we are ensuring the authenticity of the Bob's public key will be used in the decryption algorithm. Transmitted ciphertext is there. If decryption is done, it means the authenticity is ensured that Bob is intended sender, means it is a legal sender, right? And finally, if it is giving plain text, as the initially the plain text was, it means authenticity is fully ensured. Clear? So in this manner, we can ensure the authentication of the sender, as well as we can ensure the authentication of receiver also, right? So the main point is there, in the previous case we are focusing mainly on the security. In this case, we are mainly focusing on what? Security. So here we were using what? We are ensuring security means who is going to decrypt? Receiver. So receiver's public key was there for the encryption, and receiver's private key was finally there for the decryption. Clear? Because only receiver, intended receiver, should be able to decrypt the message. And in the authentication, we are ensuring the authentication of the of the sender. So only message will be encrypted using private key of the sender. Anyone can decrypt. Who can decrypt? Who is having the sender's public key. Clear? So just reverse process we can say here. In the previous case, mainly whose role was there? Receiver's role, because receiver wants the original message. The receiver's private key at the receiver end and receiver's public key at the sender end. In authentication, whom we are focusing on? Whom we are focusing? We are focusing on sender authenticity. It means sender's private and sender public key will be comes into picture. In this manner we can perform authentication and encryption using public key stream. In the upcoming lecture we will put light in detail on the RSA crypto system, means with the help of RSA how we can perform encryption and decryption. That's all from this particular lecture. Thank you.